Hello there.
KENOBI. I was hoping for KENOBI. And we got it. We got KENOBI. Welcome, everybody. We're back. We're back after last week missing, but, we're coming back on a real high note. We got the KENOBI trailer recently, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before, the one time I remembered to do the sponsor, our sponsor team is out. The one time I remembered to do it without being reminded, the sponsor team decides they don't want to show up. Well, you know what? They might show up eventually. But anyways, I guess we'll just go ahead and get into the topic at hand, and that is our thoughts about the new KENOBI trailer. And I just want to say, I'm just going to give a teaser to what I think. I'm excited. That's all I'm going to say, and then I'll go even deeper when it's my turn. But we're going to go ahead and start with Chrono, and we're just going to talk about, what we thought about it, maybe our predictions for the show. Just whatever you feel to talk about it, as long as it's KENOBI related. So go ahead, Chrono.
Well, I am excited as well. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic because we just came out of Book of Boba Fett, which was slightly disappointing, to be mild in the opinion. But yeah, I liked what we saw. Mostly, I really liked watching the Inquisitors. I think there's a lot of potential there. I do hope they use them well as main antagonists doing cool stuff. I really don't want another Cat Bane situation where they show up on screen, they look cool, and they do nothing and get killed.
Well, we know that won't happen because this is, at least for some of them, this is pre-Rebels, so we know they live long enough to be on that show, and for Maul to kill at least some of them.
One of them's the Grand Inquisitor. The other one, I think, is the what was he, second brother or something like that? Is that what he was?
Or fifth brother or something?
Yeah.
Whoever that was in the second season of Rebels, I think he is the other Inquisitor. And then there's this third one. Now, that one could possibly be, what's her name from Fallen Order? I don't know for sure if that's her or not.
I don't think she is because the other girl is different. I mean, unless they change that, the other girl is supposed to be like Hindu or something.
Oh, okay. Hello there.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Cap 141. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
She might be a new character. I don't know.
Probably is. She's the only one that I can see probably dying at the end of this, if any of them die at all.
They've got to have an Inquisitor kind of made to die for the series, so it's probably her.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, she probably won't be because she's black and female. So I don't think that's allowed.
That's true. We can't have that now. We can't have that, especially from a black guy.
Yeah, but there may be. Honestly, it may be one of these things like they may feel that they need to be representative in terms of villain deaths, or she could go through a redemption death.
That's true.
That's the thing too.
Yeah,
I'm predicting that's what's going to happen with her. She's going to get the redemption death treatment.
But didn't the one from Fallen Order get that though? Sort of.
The more redemption deaths, the merrier. This is Star Wars. It's just gonna. When in doubt, throw in a redemption death.
True.
Unless you're Finn, you get robbed from it.
All right,
yes, yeah, except Finn.
Yeah, except for Finn. Well, go ahead and continue on, Chrono.
But yeah, I think, the most we saw was about the Inquisitors. We saw some shots of Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor looks the part once again. No one doubted that. He looks great. And I like the fact that they show these scenes where the Inquisitors are searching and trying to get Jedi to react so they can find them and kill them. This was very present in Fallen Order, and I think it's just right that they showed that hunt in this show because of the era it's set in. And I'm a bit worried that they might not give us that feeling, that despair, like there you have these guys sweeping every planet looking for Jedi. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope we get that feeling of dread. And the other thing I like to point out about the trailer is that there has been some criticism about the Grand Inquisitor because his head doesn't look the part. And I do agree that he looks different, given the fact that his species is supposed to have larger heads.
Yeah.
But I don't think he looks bad. I think it's a situation very similar to Ahsoka. We all know they went for smaller Leku in order for Rosario Dawson to be able to move around with the headpiece. And it's okay. I mean, those kinds of changes we understand. It's more about practicality, not exactly trying to make things different. I think we can work with him looking a bit different, as long as he portrays the character accurately.
Of course, I agree. I was looking at him and being like, he doesn't look like the Grand Inquisitor in that much, but I know who it is because the markings resemble the same. But I'm just thinking, like, he don't look bad though.
No, he doesn't.
So I can dig it. Let's just I just want to see how he plays it. So let's hope that he plays the part right. You got anything else to say about it?
The other one thing I this is a minor N word, so I don't want to trigger anybody.
Okay. Well, see, the one that who is it that gets triggered? Was that Sir AOA that gets triggered by that, or was that?
Yes. So it's good that he's not here.
Yeah. We can say it right now. We gotta watch it when he gets in here, though. So this is your minor nitpick.
So yeah, the one small nitpick I have, and it's not a big deal. I mean, but you know how they keep retconning stuff whenever they feel like it.
Yes.
And when they show the Grand Inquisitor, and he starts rotating the lightsaber, and I'm like, seriously, you couldn't retcon that? I mean, we all made fun of that lightsaber feature in Rebels, and I'm like, why do you bring that back here? Just give the man 2 lightsabers and be done with it.
I agree. There's one thing though. They could possibly, I don't know how, and I'm hoping they can, but they could actually make it cool in live action. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't know how they can do it, but sometimes it may be cartoony in the animation, but when they bring something like that to live action, they sometimes usually find a way to make it cooler than what it is. So maybe they'll make it really cool. I'm just hoping at this point, though, for that kind of thing. I was a little disappointed to see his lightsaber spin like that, but I mean, it's part of the it's part of his character. So
yeah, and
that brings me to
the last bit. I really paid attention to it. Well, that really got me thinking, and I'm like, we're going to get lightsaber duels here. We obviously will. And the one thing I expect from this show, as forgiving as I can be, I don't want action scenes to be like the Book of Boba Fett. I don't want mediocre choreography for lightsaber battles. I mean, gunfights I can deal with, but not this. I mean, if you're going to show us lightsaber duels, they gotta be super cool.
They have to be.
Even if they are going to be brief or far apart, it's okay. But whenever you do, go to that aspect, it has to be incredibly cool.
I think that since we're dealing with Ewan McGregor, though, I mean, he can probably give us a good lightsaber performance. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
So I don't think we really have that much to worry about. Though that's me being optimistic, and I hope that my optimism is I hope it's not misplaced. So I mean, the trailer did look good though, and Deborah Chow is a good director. So I'm excited to see what she does. But we won't know until we see it.
I don't understand because some people are saying like, "Oh, it's Deborah Chow and she had the worst episodes," and I'm like, "What? I don't remember her episodes being bad."
Who said that?
Some people are saying
episode was done by her. Like, that's crazy.
I disagree entirely.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. That's crazy. She had the best episodes. We'll move away from that ludicrous comment because that's not worth arguing with. There's too many people that are in agreement with us on this one, not opposed. So go ahead and finish up what you're going to say.
Yeah, that was about it. I mean, the trailer looks the trailer looks really good. I'm looking forward to this show. I'm less worried than I was when Boba Fett finished, because by the time Boba Fett came to an end, I was like, what's going to become of Kenobi now if this is what they're doing? But seeing this trailer, I'm getting hopeful that they will be they will respect the character. I mean, it's not just any character you're dealing with here. I mean, you cannot mess.
Mm-hmm. You're cutting out a lot. You cut out not a whole lot there.
Good.
Yeah,
as long as they give us, I just want the show to be. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, go ahead. Try talking again. Sorry. Complete and utter silence.
Oh no, are we losing Chrono?
I hope not. Chrono, stay with us.
Everyone's dropping off one by one.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Now say what you were saying. Okay, we don't hear you now. Complete and utter silence. So much.
He's gone to wherever Soraya is.
Soraya, no. Chrono, no. They're gone. They're both leaving us. It's just going to be me and you, Commander Tano.
For now.
For now. Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, 2 Chronos. Oh, 1 Chrono.
You want 2 Chronos, you can have them.
Yes.
I don't know what we'll do with second Chrono, but second Chrono will be here in spirit for us. All right. Yes, oh no, second Chrono left us. No. Poor second Chrono. He's my friend. All right. Go ahead, Chrono. Say.
I was just about to end it. I mean, like, I look forward to the show. I think we're going to get something way better, and I'm willing to give it a shot. I think they have something good here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree.
That's about it.
Well, the one thing I want to say before I hand it off to Commander Tano is that the Book of Boba Fett was a little lackluster, but maybe, and this is just me being hopeful, but maybe the reason why it was a little lackluster is because they may have been focusing more of their resources on Kenobi, and I'm hoping that's the case. Because, I mean, as much as I love the character of Boba Fett, I feel like they didn't do him justice with this show. But Obi-Wan, though, I like his character more than I like Boba Fett's. And if I had to choose between the two, which one to make the best show for, it would be Obi-Wan. So if it were me, I would have put most of my resources on the one show that we know that everybody wants. The one that we know that will be like the make it or break it for Disney. because if they ruin Obi-Wan, they probably ruined everything. I mean, this is the one thing they've been asking for. We've been asking for since Disney bought Star Wars.
Yeah.
A Kenobi movie or a show or something like that. And especially since they did start doing shows like The Mandalorian, we began wanting to have shows like, let's say, for Obi-Wan or for other specific characters that isn't like the Solo movie that we didn't ask for. So I'm just saying.
We were hoping for Kenobi.
Yeah.
Why are you here? That's I love that. That's such a good quote, though. That is really. I just watched that episode like a few days ago. So, but anyways, we'll go ahead and hand it off to Commander Tano. Go ahead and tell me what your thoughts about the trailer is. Whatever comes to your mind about Kenobi, just go ahead.
Just go ahead. Well, first thing that comes to mind before I forget it, what Chrono made about the spinning lightsaber. So I'm also hopeful that I'm okay with it. Well, I'm okay with it existing generally. It's kind of like, to me, also furthermore in live action, it's kind of like to me that, in the prequels where you have in Revenge of the Sith where you have General Grievous with the whole spiel. It's like both kind of scary when you're watching it as a kid, but also kind of funny when you think of it, when you actually stop and think about that whole scene. Like, oh, you fool, I've been trained by Count Dooku, and then he just spins the lightsabers. He just takes 4 lightsabers and spins them. Does not do, it's like, and it's great. It's like, and people pointed out, so you're like, oh, that's why the sequels are. It's like but it's wonderful. It's so bad. It's great. So I that's kind of in a way how I view the spinning lightsabers, and I do think there is a way to make it look really good in live action. I'm hoping we'll get that. Honestly, probably in that universe, that's probably why they probably were like, they're probably inspired by that, and they're like, oh, let's just have spinning lightsabers. It's like a Grievous thing, but
Grievous does it better.
So he does. He has 4 spinning lightsabers.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the thing. The Grand Inquisitor, he needs to like pull out like 2 spinning lightsabers and just hold them at the same time and do. Honestly, if they did that, I would laugh. I would actually applaud that. That'd be so like bad. That would be awesome. Like, it would be so hilariously bad that I'd be like, like, you've got balls to do that. Like, good for you. You should do that. But yeah.
I mean, just think about it. That other third Inquisitor that we were talking about that might die, she might end up dying, and he'll just use her lightsaber and then come at Obi-Wan with 2 sets of spinning lightsabers and be like, oh no, not again.
I want that. That would be so like.
They spin now?
Yes.
They spin now.
They spin now.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
Oh.
That would be funnier, though. That would be funnier. I mean, think about it, because Grievous, he used his hands to spin it, not like the lightsaber hilts themselves spin. That joke would actually make sense if Obi-Wan had said it. They spin now, because he probably hadn't seen an Inquisitor with a rotating lightsaber hilt.
If they put that in the script, I would so respect that.
I would. It's like, you know what? You make that joke. Everybody hates it. Watch what I do, and everybody will love it. And that'll happen, and everybody will love it because it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're not going into the they fly now scene, because I can talk about why that's so nonsensical. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so that's just one thing I just wanted to say. Get that out there before I forgot it. But so main things. I guess 2 things. First, once again, I don't know. It's just a trailer. I'm I expect this series to be darker, and I hope it will be, than, kind of current Star Wars stuff. And and so it's like I expect and I hope that they use the Inquisitors well with that, and it seems like they will. The other thing, it both kind of frustrated me, but I also appreciated this about the trailer, is kind of how little I actually know about the series after watching it. You saw nothing of Anakin. At least to my recollection. There's. I like that it seems that this trailer didn't seem to reveal much, and that's good. I'm hoping because of which characters are involved, who's involved in this, that they put in more kind of time, effort, and whoa, where did Shade go?
We lost the host.
What? Okay, it's our show now. Maybe he'll come back. But what?
In the meantime, go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's still live, so I guess it's just okay. It's still going on. Yeah, I hope that they put more kind of time and planning into this than they put into the Book of Boba Fett. I hope they realize, because it's kind of a unique opportunity to have both Ewan and Hayden back, together. That they would just be extra careful about how they do this. But yeah, so far I like what I've seen. It's like it looks like a much darker show than than the other two. So yeah, I'm kind of like you, just kind of cautiously optimistic. And now I'm kind of running out of things to say because Shade is gone, and he just
Okay.
Oh, you're back.
Yes, I am back. Well, sorta. My home internet, I think, is dead.
Oh, that's lovely.
So I'm using my phone, and if my sound, this happened, I think, the last time too. If my sound quality is bad, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. So, anyways, I don't know where you were when I cut off, but just go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I was just finishing up. I can't remember where you kind of left. I was just, yeah, what was I saying? It was, the show seems like it'll be darker. That's a good thing. The trailer actually didn't show us much about Obi-Wan and Anakin, Vader, any of that, and I liked that. And I'm kind of like Chrono, just kind of cautiously optimistic that they put a little bit more kind of time, effort, and planning into this one. So we'll see. Yeah.
There we go. All right, hold on.
Oh, you're back. Ooh.
That was close. Finally, my home internet just got back working. Now I sound better, I think. Okay, let me put that image back on screen too, because it's going to be boring without an image in the background. And boom. Okay, now
I do have a question for the two of you, given the trailer and given what Commander Tano just said. How do you feel about the whole Obi-Wan and Anakin or Vader having a duel in this show? Because I've heard a lot of opinions. I have my own, and I think it would be interesting to discuss that here.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. You want to go first, Commander Tano, or you want me to go ahead?
Whichever you prefer. I feel like either way, I'm like, it'll take me forever to sort out my thoughts.
Your turn, but I'll go ahead since you said it's going to take you forever. I'm in love with the idea. And the reason why is because they never really say when their last duel was. The last time I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. So they never say when the last time was. And I feel like to redeem the fact that they had a very lackluster fight in the fourth movie or first one, whichever one you want to call it. And I mean, it's due to the technology of the time. They couldn't go all out like they did in Star Wars Episode 3, but and that's understandable. But I feel like there needs to be one really good duel between Vader and Obi-Wan, in their current states. That way we can actually see what Vader I want to say full strength Vader, but it probably isn't full strength Vader, not at that point. But Vader is more powerful than Anakin at this point, and Obi-Wan is even more powerful than Anakin in terms of, I guess, skill. So I want to see where Obi-Wan would get against Vader instead of Anakin. Yeah, I just want to see that. It's because I've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen it. You probably have. The Scene 38, I think is what it was called. It's sort of like a reimagining of the fight between Obi-Wan and Vader on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's really good.
I haven't seen it. I don't know what rock I've been under.
I haven't.
You guys ain't seen it? Okay. I'm going to show it to you guys after the stream. Or you can look it up right now. Actually, let me look it up on my phone because it is really good. Now,
I'm looking on my phone too.
Oh, you're looking on it already? Awesome. Let me see if I can find it. Tell me if you find it. Let's see. Yeah, I already found it. Here we are.
Oh, yeah, right. I did too.
So it's called Star Wars SC-38 Reimagined. So you should watch that. If you haven't watched it, you've lived under a rock. It's amazing. Seriously. Like,
I'm crawling out of my rock.
Crawl out of that rock. Yeah, you do that. Watch it, and that is exactly what we really should have gotten. Now, like I said, due to the time that the first movie was made and to the technology of that time, they probably couldn't go all out, especially with what they had, because they couldn't have a full-on like Battle of the Heroes fight with the lightsabers they had back then. I mean, you can tell that they're not like. The technology is really old because you can see the wire from the lightsaber in Obi-Wan's sleeve in one of the scenes when he turns it on. So, that technology was a little primitive to what we have now. And it is also like, it wouldn't hold up against the kind of fighting that they do in the new movies. So, like I said, technology restraints, time restraints, all that stuff. But what you see in that video is something that we really should get at least once, is a good Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader fight. Because two old men holding sticks and sort of just tapping them against each other really isn't the kind of fight that I want to end Obi-Wan and Darth Vader on. I mean, it is the fight that they ended on, but we really want to see something more, And
you mean you want more?
Yeah, I think I want more. A lot more. So, in a way, you can take this scene and just throw it in there in the movie. Like I'm sure somebody can just like take the whole movie, edit that whole fight out of it, put that fight in there, and it would work just fine. It would actually be a lot better. But it is what it is, and I think that we should get something like what we see in that for this fight, and I'm all for it. This takes place like 15 years after, I think, 15 years after the rise of the Empire.
Yeah.
So, Anakin Vader, Vader is probably still very new to what he's doing. He's still learning, even 15 years after. It would make sense if they did have one more fight Now, I doubt they will be on the sands of Tatooine because Darth Vader hates sand, but that's not the point. They don't need to bring that fight close to Tatooine because if they do, that puts Luke in danger. And the fact that they didn't know about Luke or anything like that means that they shouldn't have been able to have fought on that planet because I'm sure he would have sensed it if he was close enough. So I think the fight will be somewhere else besides Tatooine. I think Obi-Wan will venture off of Tatooine for a little bit, just for the sake of Luke in this show. Because I'm sure that those Inquisitors will show up on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan, knowing that they're after him or whatever, will probably flee Tatooine in order to keep them away from Luke, because, that's what I'm thinking. And that's when, he'll fight off maybe the Inquisitors and possibly fight off Vader himself somewhere. So we'll find out when the show starts up, but that was my opinion. I'm looking forward to it. And plus, I want to see a vulnerable side to Vader. I know a lot of people want him to sort of just stay like a machine, but this is like new Vader, This is before Star Wars Episode 4. So I want to see what Vader was like at that point. So that's my opinion. Go ahead, Commander Tano.
Yeah, how I feel about it, I'd say very similar to how you feel about it. I'm definitely open to it. I think I suspected, I suspect at some point in this series you're going to get Obi-Wan's going to kind of, what you mentioned about kind of a more vulnerable Vader. Like I feel like there, at least if I were writing this, there's going to be a point where Obi-Wan's debating whether to, reveal to Vader that he has children. Or I feel like there's gonna be some point in the series where he gets very close, very, very close to it, and then Vader screws it up, and they don't do that, and they just fight and whatever. But yeah, I think I'm definitely open to that happening. And I think it's for the same reasons. I know I've seen sometimes in the news where I saw in the news at one point like that they were considering doing kind of basically doing A New Hope or doing all three of the originals, but animated. And I get why a lot of people had reservations about that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, to me, those movies will always exist. You can't take away that. And if you did it the right way, like that would actually be really cool if you Clone Wars styled the original movies and kept everything the same. Kept, all the, the plot, the audio, keep all of that the same. And the only things that you changed, or maybe like the only thing that I would say change is that Obi-Wan and Vader fight, and just make it more, and if you just did that, if you just kind of adjusted those fights so that that would fit in kind of that Clone Wars style world with that animation and that fluidity, that would be really cool. I mean, it's for like the same reason it'd be kind of cool to see them do that with the prequels too, but then also kind of integrate that with Clone Wars stuff, like kind of have to have like one great big giant animated special edition of Star Wars.
That would be awesome.
Honestly, if I took over Lucasfilm, so please Lucasfilm, let me take you over. If I were the new Kathleen Kennedy, okay. So if I were the new Kathleen Kennedy, here's what I would do. I would make one big.
Scroll when you said that. I was like, I don't know if the world's ready for that.
I would be a Kathleen Kennedy for for the forces of good. Okay, I'd be the light side version of Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That works better.
So I would have them come out with a great big special kind of animated special edition of the Star Wars movies. I would also do that for The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And I would recut and rearrange The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and whatever other kind of Mandoverse stuff that they want to put in. I would kind of recut and rearrange it so it was more Clone Wars style and structure, so that you didn't have these problems that we have with the Book of Boba Fett in terms of flow and character arcs and stuff. And I might add some stuff here and there, cut and paste here and there, whatever. But I would just restructure the story so that everything looked so that way, and have it all be in the same animation style, so everything kind of looks like it belongs to all of the same universe. And I would frankly take, if I'm really ambitious, I'd take a lot of Rebels material and I would basically redo it Clone Wars style animation. I might make some of it got pretty dark towards the end, but I would make more of that. I would probably make some adjustments to that material too, and so yeah, just have this really one big giant animated special edition of Star Wars, and I would probably, just for the heck of it, just as a joke, I would do a Clone Wars animated Christmas holiday special. Yes, I would do that. It would be Clone Wars. It would be the holiday special. It would be all of it, just the same as is. Nothing changed except Clone Wars animated. And just
oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh,
so
man.
yeah,
it would be less cringy, but still cringy.
I want to keep the cringe. The cringe belongs. The cringe is canon. But yeah, that's what I would do. So I have so yeah, I'm of the camp where it's like, I get that what happened in the in the original fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, that they were very limited by technology of the time, and I think if it was done now, it would have looked very different. And so I see some of what they're doing with the Kenobi series is kind of a wish fulfillment fan service thing to give people that, in a way. And I'm okay with that also from a story perspective. I think there's room, and I understand the concern, like, oh, it's kind of a retcon or whatever. You could view it. That's definitely a valid criticism, a valid way to look at it. But I also think that there's room to have a fight between them in that timeline. It's kind of like they're like, with Star Wars, there are categories of things. Like, there are things like where it's like choices made where I'm like, yes, that's excellent choice, and that's the only way to do this thing plot wise. There are other things where it's like, no, that's awful. How could you do that? And there are other things where it's like, I'm cool with that. It could have been done differently, but I'm also cool with how that was done in that particular way too. And this is one of those things where it's like, there doesn't have to be a fight between Anakin and Vader, but since it's here, clearly going to be here, I'm cool with it. And I get the arguments against it, but I can't help myself. I think it'll be cool. Hopefully it'll be cool.
I agree. What was your thoughts on it, Chrono? Like, what was your opinion that you had for it? Because I don't think you told us what you thought about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I have seen some opinions, and I do understand, like Commander Tano said, the concern. I still am concerned that I don't want them to mess it up. I don't mind that the fight exists prior to the one in A New Hope. I just hope they really taking enough care to give us something that's worth revisiting that idea and that's worth that fine line between success and failure. I mean, you're going to do it right. And yeah, I don't oppose the idea of another duel before the one in the Death Star, which can hardly be considered a duel. I just watched the video while you were talking, and yeah, that fight is really good because it is within the expected parameters of that old Obi-Wan and that super seasoned Vader. It makes a lot of sense the way they choreograph that fight. And I really look forward to seeing what that fight is going to look like in this new show. And considering what they did, I mean, the Book of Boba Fett gave us 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in it, and those episodes were super cool. And they showed us how they actually know how to handle original trilogy characters. Because Luke might not be perfect given the aging software and the emotion, the expressions on the actor and whatever, but the way they presented him was the right. And the fact that they showed us where he is during that time, and the choice he gave Grogu, the interaction with Ahsoka. What's clear to us with those episodes is that they really know how they are supposed to go about these things. So the only hope here is that they put that much effort and care in this deal, because I'm pretty sure they know how important it is to get it right.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if that's all you got to say about that, okay. Well, I guess it's my turn for my reaction. Let me just first say,
unless the internet dies again.
Huh?
Unless your internet dies again.
Yeah, my internet is sort of junk right now. Let's hope it doesn't cut me out again. All right. So, first thing I want to say is, well, actually, I have a clip that sort of sums up what I think about this trailer.
Good job.
So, I'm very impressed with the trailer. I mean, we got some Battle of the Heroes in there. We got some Duel of Fates in there. Now, I'm not sure if we'll hear either of those in the show, which would be amazing if we did. But it would be amazing. I mean, it really would be. But it was. This is right after Star Wars Episode 3, 15 years after the fall of the Jedi, the rise of the Empire. So, of course, they need to incorporate a little bit of the Star Wars Episode 3 feel to this show. And I think that's why, I can't remember who said it. I think it was Commander Tano that said that she wants it to be dark, or was that you? Was that you, Chrono, that said that?
No, it was Commander Tano.
Okay, that's right. I was right then the first time. All right, anyway. She said that she wanted it to be dark. I assume that, since Star Wars Episode 3 is the darkest of the entire Star Wars franchise, because I don't think any of the Star Wars movies hold a candle to how dark that movie was. I feel like this show needs to follow that tone a little bit, especially since this is preceding the fall of the Jedi and Obi-Wan fighting in what he thinks is killing his apprentice that he, loved and considered a brother. So it needs to be dark. It doesn't need to be like, anything Marvel related, all these jokes trying to be funny all the time. No, it don't need that. It needs to pull the Batman. It needs to pull that. It needs to pull that and just be dark. But anyways, they set the tone with the trailer with Battle of the Heroes, then Duel of Fates, and I'm just thinking at that point, like, I'm already hyped. You threw Duel of Fates in there, I'm already hyped. They have Obi-Wan speaking, and it was nice to hear Ewan McGregor's voice again. it was nice to see the same actor for Owen in Star Wars Episode 2 and 3 show back up, which is really cool. I don't know how he ages from what he is there to what he is in Episode 4, because he don't look that much different in this show that he than he did in Star Wars Episode 3. But it's Star Wars.
That
They
blew
have
me a couple perks.
Yeah, exactly. But it like I didn't see Obi-Wan use his lightsaber once, which is cool, but also disappointing because I want to see him use it. I really do. But we did see him use a blaster, I think it was Obi-Wan, near the very end of the trailer. And I was just thinking to myself, Obi-Wan using a blaster? How uncivilized.
How uncivilized, yeah, of course.
That's what I was thinking. And I mean, this is a different time where the Jedi have to hide. So, I mean, it makes sense that he wouldn't use his lightsaber for every encounter. But he doesn't seem to care in Star Wars Episode 4, not in the least. Just goes and chops a guy's arm off. Yeah, I'm a Jedi. Don't tell anybody. But, but the thing about it is, like, I wanted to see maybe him turn his lightsaber on, but maybe seeing him with his lightsaber is a very crucial moment in the show, and maybe that's why they didn't show it, because maybe he only shows himself to Vader. Maybe he doesn't use a lightsaber at all until Vader shows up. So that could be the case, and that's just a small nitpick. Nothing that will break it for me, because honestly, I'm just here for Obi-Wan. I like that we got to see Luke. I like that we got to see Obi-Wan watching over Luke in the trailer. What little we did get to see of it. And I like that we got to... Well, I mean, I read part of the Kenobi book. And I mean, this is legend, so it's not canon.
If you wanted to... Yeah.
You cut out on that last part. What was it?
No, I was just saying that if you really wanted to, if you were really trying, you could totally take that scene out of context.
You really could. And I mean, thankfully we know Obi-Wan, because that would be really weird. But in the Kenobi book that I was reading, I think like Obi-Wan sort of made a deal with Owen that he wouldn't like intrude on them, he would just sort of stay out of the way. And I guess maybe they're taking that from the book. Maybe they do that. Maybe I want to say maybe that by the end of the show, Obi-Wan probably makes that deal for sure with Owen, because maybe Obi-Wan causes trouble for Owen and Brew and Luke, and then Owen's like, yeah, no, we don't want you around here anymore. If you're going to watch over Luke, do it from a distance. Don't get involved with us anymore. So that could be a way that it goes. But honestly, with that scene where he's watching Luke from afar, I feel like that's already happened, because I don't think that'll happen at the end of the show. But back to what I was saying about the Inquisitors, I'm glad that we get to see at least two familiar faces, but we know that they're not going to die. So I don't know what role they're going to play in this, if Obi-Wan's not going to kill them. And I doubt that they'll discover Obi-Wan, because like nobody knows where Obi-Wan is. Not even Vader knows where Obi-Wan is, because he's hiding and watching over Luke. So I'd like to know how Obi-Wan conceals where he lives at the same time as fighting Vader in the same series. Because, I mean, the Inquisitors are going around looking for Jedi, and I think they probably show up on Tatooine. But how does Obi-Wan keep from being discovered, especially since we know that two characters, the Grand Inquisitor and the, I guess, fifth or second brother, I'm not sure what he was, those two are in Rebels. And if this takes place during that time, because, it takes place either like directly before Rebels or right during the middle of it, basically, or the middle of season 1, because, Ezra is 15 years old in Rebels. So this is taking place either before they met Ezra or sometime after they did. And the thing is, like, if they found out where Obi-Wan was, they would tell Vader, and Vader would come to Tatooine and take him down. So Obi-Wan had to have left Tatooine, because we did see other locations in the trailer. One looked, now I don't know if it's confirmed or anything like that, but it looked like Coruscant. One of them looked like Coruscant, if I remember correctly. So there's that. I mean, there are other locations in the Star Wars universe, and I don't know if they would bring Coruscant back. It would be cool if they did, but it looked like a big city. It looked like there's a bunch of neon lights and all that stuff. So it reminded me of Coruscant a lot. I don't mean it is, but the Inquisitors show up there. So maybe Obi-Wan flees Tatooine, goes to, let's say, Coruscant or some other planet, and that's where he ends up fighting off Vader. That's all I can get from it.
Just a small detail.
A small detail?
Just a small detail. I just checked, and the 8 years after Episode 3.
It's how many? What now? Wait a minute. I think you might cut out on me. What did you say? It was how many years after Episode 3?
Yeah.
Well, so I'd say I'd say that he did leave Tatooine just to protect Luke. I mean, he was there to protect Luke, but if his location could be compromised, if they find out that he is there and protecting someone, that just invalidates everything that we know, and that will create a huge problem in the plot, in the story. So he has to leave Tatooine, is what I'm guessing. But that's all stuff that was just coming up in my head as I watched the trailer, and honestly, I'm in love with it. I mean, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm just hoping that this turns out really good, and we won't have to worry about another Book of Boba Fett situation. So, I mean, I'm hoping they put most of their resources into Obi-Wan, because, I mean, we can tell that Book of Boba Fett wasn't exactly the most high budget show, and I'm just hoping that is the reason why, not that this is the quality of TV show they're going for from now on. So, I mean, because The Mandalorian was good. It looked like they spent a pretty penny on the show. So, the Book of Boba Fett looks like it went a little cheaper, and I'm just hoping that this one does not go that route. I hope they put everything into it that they could. So, I mean, that's my thoughts and opinions about it. And as far as like my predictions for the show, I mean, I already talked about how he probably left Tatooine. That's really my main prediction so far. But we probably won't know anything until we get like another trailer or something like that. I'm sure we'll get another trailer or two before Kenobi comes out in May. And I'm glad that it's coming out on May 25th, the real Star Wars Day. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And well, Sir AOA never showed up, so we can't really ask him his thoughts about it. That, and he's probably the reason why our streams run on for about another 2 hours. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Sir AOA. I know you're not here, but it's okay. We love you anyways. But you guys have anything else to say about it? Because I mean, that's literally all that we've had to talk about for this stream. So it, like I said, it's probably just going to be a short stream today. So you guys got anything else to say that you want to say?
Not really. Just kind of, we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, then let's go with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited or cautiously optimistic are you about this show? Whichever one wants to go, I don't know. Whoever thinks.
Go ahead, Commander 10.
Well, see, on the scale of cautiously optimistic, 10. On the scale of excited, like Oh, I'm gonna put. I'm tempted to like do a Soraya type 0.5 number. I'll
0.5
say like
number.
7.5.
Okay, I'll take that. What about you, Chrono?
I would give it an 8, a solid 8, because the trailer does look good. I mean, it's very brief. We don't know a lot of details at this time. It could end up being completely different from what we saw in the trailer. It happens sometimes.
Yep.
But if we were to judge it by what we just saw, I think we're on the right track to a good show.
Well, I'm going to take the same route that Commander Tano did and say 7.5 as well, because, I mean, I want to say 8, but at the same time, we haven't seen enough of it to really gauge how much I'm excited. I mean, yeah, I watched it and it had me like, my mind was blown, and I was thinking 10 out of 10, I'm excited. But I've let it, sort of, what's the word? Incubate in my head? I don't know. That might not be the word. Whatever. I've let it settle. That I will just say that I've let it settle a little bit. The excitement has settled, and I've started thinking a little more rationally about it. And I'm thinking, the Book of Boba Fett was this. It's very possible, knowing their track record, that Obi-Wan Kenobi could turn out to be that way too. Let's hope not. And I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about it, though. I don't think that it will. I think that they know that this show is a make it or break it. So as long as they make it, they won't break it.
But I don't think it's going to be like the Book of Boba Fett, because with that show, since the first trailer was shown, I mean, at least for me and for many other people, we were not excited. I mean, the first trailer for Book of Boba Fett, I was like, I don't really know what to make of it, and nothing in it looked like extremely cool or making me look forward to it. And in this case, the fact alone that we saw the Inquisitors and this chase trying to expose some Jedi to hunt them down, that really gives me hope. Because if that's what they're going for, if the show is going to really show that specific time when they were trying to purge everyone out, to get them to come out of hiding, because that's what the game went for, the Fallen Order game. And I really like the introduction to that game when they show this Inquisitor coming in to, like, yeah, we know that some Jedi is hiding here, so who's it gonna be? Step forward, save us the effort. And they end up chasing Cal, and the way all that happened, it was really cool. So if that's what they're going for, I really dig that idea.
I agree. I really liked Fallen Order as well. So I like the idea of what they're going for. Also, at the end of the trailer, it says "Hope survives" or "Hope survived" or something like that, if I'm correct. So that's how I'm feeling right now. Is that there is still hope. Hope is surviving with Kenobi, not just for the universe of Star Wars, but for the franchise itself as well. This, like I said, is probably a make it or break it, and they better try their best with this one, because if they mess it up, there's going to be a lot of angry people, and including myself. I mean, I was already angry with the Cad Bane thing. If they do something in this show that makes me hate this show, which is very hard because I love Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is one of my favorite characters of all time in Star Wars. So if they mess that up, if they make me not want to consider the show canon at all, then they've messed it up, and I'm going to be furious. But I doubt that's going to happen. As I mean, even with their track record, I don't think it's because I'm an easily pleased person. I mean, even if some things have flaws in it, I mean, I was able to look over the sequel trilogy for the most part until The Rise of Skywalker, and that was with The Last Jedi. I mean, I was trying my best to like it. I was easily pleased. I let certain things let me enjoy some of it, but after a while, it got old. You know, like I said, I'm easily pleased. But if you turn me away from it, that's it. So I don't think this show's going to do it. I don't think it's going to turn me away from it. I think it's going to work. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this whole thing. And Sarai never showed up, so I guess we'll just go ahead and end it here today. I mean, we really don't have much to go on with this trailer right now, and today was just going to be a chill stream, but you know, Commander Tong's got to go at 7:30, and then you know I got some things I got to do, so we're just probably going to end it right here. I know this is one of probably the shortest streams we've ever done. Thanks a lot, Sarai. The whole last hour would have just been him talking about the show. I'm not making fun of you. I promise, Sarai. I promise. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and end it here.
Also, the sponsor team. Also, the sponsor team never showed up.
I know the sponsor team never showed up either. We don't have a clever ad to add to this today, so unfortunately, we don't have a sponsor. You know what? Actually, no, we do. Pringles. They came back. My Pringles sponsorship came back. If you guys like Pringles, well, they're good. Try them. Okay? That was so clever. I'm so good at this. They should hire me for the sponsor team. No. Actually, I probably wouldn't do it. Anyways, I guess we'll just probably end it here. I mean, we're all very excited. I didn't say how exact. No, I did say how excited I was. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm excited. We're all excited to a point. Cautiously optimistic for the most part. But it's going to be good. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and end it here. So there's links in the description. I usually plug this at the end of every stream. This video or this stream, including all the other Star Wars topic streams, will be in a playlist linked in the description. We have a Discord and we also have a Twitter. You can follow us there. You can join the Discord. You get to talk to all of us at the Force Collective. And we also have a Twitch. We haven't done much on it lately, but if you want to follow us on Twitch, be my guest. We'll be back to that eventually. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it. And may the Force be with you always. See you later. Sector.